Hey everybody, welcome inside the Yankees dugout. Kyle Kestis here, and Adam Warren is back in the Bronx. Adam, you're drafted by the Yankees, came up with the Yankees, pitched as a reliever, pitched as a starter, had a lot of success. And then before we talk about this year, we'll go back to last offseason. You learned that you're going to be traded to the Cubs. Take us through that experience. Was there any sadness for you?
Yeah, we were actually on vacation, so our phones are off. So we actually ended up seeing it on ESPN on the bottom line. And then went back and turned our phones on, had a million text messages and phone calls that we missed. But it was a tough emotionally because we loved it here in New York, and so it was you got some anger because you're mad that you got traded, you're sad, happy you're going to a place like Chicago, but it was a tough experience for me just trying to get over being traded because that's we were real comfortable here and we loved it here.
I think Yankee fans know you as a guy who is going to be able to go out there and start successfully, relieve successfully, kind of take whatever role comes your way and do it well. Looking towards what you did in Chicago earlier this year, you had an ERA under 2 through the first 5 weeks of the season, and then at the time of the trade, the ERA was at 5.91. Help us evaluate the season that you had the first 4 months of the year.
Yeah, I started off hot, and then, I feel like I got off mechanically. It was just one of those things where I wasn't throwing the ball where I wanted to, kind of lost my slider. So I was basically up there just throwing instead of pitching, and it was tough for me to kind of get back in a rhythm. They sit me down and got to stretch out to start. I did that, actually threw well in my start. I came back, and then it was right back to the bullpen. So kind of the back and forth. Even though I pride myself on that versatility, for some reason I just couldn't get back into a rhythm, and just didn't feel like myself.
It looks like you've slotted nicely back into that bullpen here with the Yanks. You feel comfortable coming back to the Bronx?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little weird the first time I walked into the locker room in Houston, and then I saw all the guys and just felt like home, felt like, fit right back in, met some of the new guys here. But having Larry, who's seen me 4 or 5 years, after the, hey, how you doing, good to have you back, it was, all right, let's talk about what's going on. And so we worked on some mechanical issues, worked on the slider, and seemed to be heading in the right direction.
Now, you talked a little bit about learning of your trade to the Cubs. I like to hear the trade stories. I think they're usually pretty interesting, especially mid-season. When you're in the middle of a pennant race with the Cubs and you learn that you're traded back to New York. When did you hear about it? Who told you? And what was the transition like to get here?
First I really heard of it was the morning of the trade. I started hearing from my agent through social media, hey, your name's being mentioned in these talks. I kind of had a feeling it might be coming, but I didn't really figure out till the middle of the day. The Cubs called me, then Cash called me, and we hated to leave Chicago because we enjoyed it there, but like I said, this kind of feels like home, so we were excited going back somewhere we knew, somewhere we loved, and like I said, it was an easy transition for us.
Things are a little bit different here with the Yankees now than they were the last time you were here. They've brought in a lot of younger guys looking towards not only the end of this year, but towards 2017 as well. Here you are, a guy who's still in the early part of your prime. What are your thoughts on where the Yankees are right now with the young players that they've acquired and where you fit in going forward?
I think it's an exciting time, but it's a unusual time as a Yankee because, in past years being a Yankee, you haven't seen us sell off pieces like this. So it's kind of, you kind of look around and you see some of these younger guys, and it is exciting to see some of the talent we're bringing up, and these guys are going to be here for a long time. So a lot to look forward to. You're excited to see these guys come up and maybe hit for power or have some speed or whatever their tools may be. Yeah, heard a lot of good things, so excited to see them.
And finally, Adam, what should Yankee fans know about you in the time since you left? Have you made any adjustments to your delivery, to the pitches that you throw? What's different about you? What have you learned?
It's pretty much the same. Like I said, I've been trying to get back where I was last year mechanically. Got off a little bit earlier this year and get the slider back. And still, I consider myself 4-pitch guy out of the bullpen and going to attack you with all 4 of them. So just trying to stay on the attack. I think I had too many walks earlier this year, so trying to be aggressive and kind of do the same thing I did last year.
Awesome, man. I think everybody's excited to have you back. Good luck.
Thanks. Excited to be back.
You can see more Yankees on Demand and scoreboard content by clicking here. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel right here.